After realizing Hughie is posing as Webweaver, Tek Knight shifts from seduction to deduction. A detail from The Boys Season 4, Episode 6, shows how he came to the complete truth. In the suitably named Dirty Business, Hughie enters the inner sanctum of Tek Knight's lair and enters the billionaire's private party by posing as Webweaver, a parody of Spider-Man. Hughie was sorry to hear that Webweaver was not invited to the evening's networking and hors d'oeuvres. The boy's Tek Knight character, drawing inspiration from Batman, has superhuman senses. But M.M. insists that Hughie's scent be hidden by Webweaver's potent costume. Even so, Tek Knight soon discovers that the man behind the mask is a fake, though the boys never make it clear how he arrives at that conclusion. Although Hughie's fast heartbeat is noted by Mr. Knight, this could be taken as an early indication of guilt. Rather than the adrenaline rush of a man eager to fart on some cake, rather it's yet another crucial detail from Dirty Business that reveals Hughie. During MM's initial visit to Webweaver in Episode 6, the boys make a point of displaying the soup's web hole, which is situated above his buttocks around his lower back. As his host looks on, Hughie's first chore upon entering Tek Knight's cave is to perform the previously mentioned cake farting, which necessitates Hughie to remove his pants. Hughie's lower back lacks the gaping, web-covered hole Webweaver has, and it doesn't take someone with Tek Knight's level of vision to notice this. Tek Knight probably determines at this point that his guest isn't the real Webweaver. When Hughie's pants fall, Tek Knight is in the process of choking himself on a hanging chain, so it's hard to tell if his suspicions are aroused just by looking at him. Tek Knight does, however, start to put Hughie to the test from that point on, in a very cunning manner. Almost as if he already knows the imposter won't be able to utter it, he mocks the still-masked Hughie in the very next scene for not knowing Webweaver's safe word. Hughie's twitchy behavior and elevated heart rate from there simply confirm what the absence of a web hole had already shown. "It's so good to meet you in person. Finally," Tek Knight says to the disguised Hughie in The Boys Season 4, Episode 6, indicating that this is their first face-to-mask encounter. The boys makes a compelling case against the claim that Tek Knight would not have known about Webweaver's unique second hole if they had not previously shared a room. Tek Knight's "finally" line indicates that the two superheroes had spoken extensively before the event, even though they had never met in person. "Everyone always has the same holes over and over again," laments Tek Knight, when he later discloses his true intentions for Hughie. It becomes incredibly dull. Most importantly, it seems that Tek Knight invited Webweaver to his dungeon only because of the web hole on his guest's lower back. After looking for new bodily holes to plug, Tek Knight discovered a soup who could provide him with something entirely different from the norm. A meeting was set up following a remote discussion of the issue, which explains why Tek Knight acts as though Webweaver should be aware of what's about to happen.